Welcome to Recap Reels, your gateway to captivating stories in just a few minutes. Let's dive right in. Cleaners in hazardous suits clean a toll booth as a truck approaches. Truck driver blames toll booth staff for delaying him down, but they say the region is being sanitized after a little nuclear plant leak. While passing the toll booth, his ringing phony causes him to hit a doughy. After assessing the situation, he leaves. The doughy stumbles up after the incident and exposes its disease. An active investment manager in Seoul, Seok-woo, barely has time for his daughter Soo-an or his divorce. After a hard day at work and buying her the same birthday present as every year, Soo-an wants to see her mother in Busan. Seok-woo is apprehensive due of work, but his mother shows him a video of Soo-an singing Aloha O at a school event he missed. Midway through, she stops singing. Remorseful, Seok-woo books the next morning KTX Busan train. Seok-woo nearly hits an ambulance and police car while driving Soo-an to the station in the morning. As Soo-an catches an ember out the car window, Seok-woo sees the burning structure in the distance and wonders what's going on. Drives to the station despite saying something's wrong. They join the train alongside rugged working-class husband Sang-hwa and his pregnant wife Seong-kyung, a high school baseball team, rich but selfish CEO Yeon-suk, elderly sisters In-gil and Jong-gil, and a homeless guy who knows about the zombies. One spasming young woman enters the train with a massive leg bite wound as it leaves. After telling the KTX to go, the station manager witnesses people yelling at something invisible on the steps. Only Soo-an sees an enraged person ambush the manager through the glass. Soo-an stands to use the restroom, afraid. The woman changes in lower cabins, despite a railway attendant's efforts to resuscitate her. After the zombie grips her neck, the attendant panics and gets into the baseball team's car. They fall, zombies. After attacking most of the baseball team and forming a zombie horde, only Young-guk, his crush Jin-hee, and two unknown boys remain. Soo-an unknowingly seeks the lower compartments for a bathroom as the zombies infect everyone in the top ones. Seok-woo awakens to discover Soo-an gone from her seat. A co-worker reports violent riots in Korea. A group of terrified lower compartment passengers runs past his seat yelling. Seok-woo dashes away when he realizes Soo-an is in danger and witnesses a zombie swarm. Although rushed by the crowd, Seok-woo enters his compartment and nearly blocks Sang-hwa and Seong-kyung. After fighting to close the door, the survivors discover that the zombies can only rush at them. Seong-kyung covers windows with water and newspapers to fool zombies into thinking they're gone. The conductor tells survivors over the intercom that the train would stop at Daegu instead of Busan because the military is there. Yeon-suk calls his company friends to discuss Daegu, which Seok-woo overhears and assumes will quarantine all visiting passengers. He phones a co-worker privately to arrange for his and Soo-an's separate pickup to escape quarantine. Seok-woo takes Soo-an to the east exit to be picked up at the abandoned Daegu station, while the others go to the main exit. The homeless man follows Seok-woo when called. A soldier appears as the three proceed down the hallway. In relief, Seok-woo tells Soo-an to stay still and hurries to help the soldier who is injured. The soldier begs for help, since infected soldiers will crush and eat him around the bend. Other survivors exit through the main door. The survivors see many uniformed men at the foot of the escalator and realize the deployment failed because the soldiers are infected. As they hurry up the station escalator, some passengers are consumed and infected. Seok-woo tells Soo-an to run from zombies on the station concourse. She sees Seong-kyung and Sang-hwa sprinting to the train with them. Seong-kyung and Soo-an flee to the platform, while Sang-hwa fights the horde alongside Seok-woo, Young-guk, and the two baseball players. After locking the exit, they run to the train. On the platform, Young-guk's two friends are attacked and infected. Jin-hee, Yeon-suk, and others took the train. As Seong-kyung and Soo-an board, a glass bridge above the train cracks, showering zombies on the station. Jong-gil and In-gil are separated by zombies. After forcing Jong-gil into her compartment, Jin-hee watches In-gil, Seong-kyung, and Soo-an flee. Seong-kyung, Soo-an, In-gil, and the homeless man lock themselves in a lower contaminated compartment lavatory as Young-guk, Seok-woo, and Sang-hwa board a safe compartment. Sang-hwa calls his wife and finds her in the bathroom with others. The three fight through the bottom compartments to save them. It turns out zombies are blind in the dark and only hear. This saves them, and they run to the first compartment with Yeon-suk, Jin-hee, Jong-gil, and the manager. Young-guk texts Jin-hee that they rescued survivors and are going to her compartment. After she happily tells the others, they grow hostile and lock their compartment to keep them out. Young-guk smashes the locked door while Seok-woo and Sang-hwa fight zombies across the street. Due to time constraints, Sang-hwa urges Seok-woo to take care of his wife and divert the zombies. After crying, Seok-woo pulls Soo-an and Seong-kyung to the barricaded door. He informs his wife the name he chose for their their unborn son before he dies. After smashing the locked door, the survivors enter the room and close another door, but In-gil dies. Seok-woo angrily strikes Yeon-suk and demands why he did it, realizing Sung-hwa and In-gil may have survived if the group hadn't barricaded the door. Yeon-suk refuses to answer and says that Seok-woo and his friends are sick. They frighten the first group who barricaded the door and forces Seok-woo and the newly arrived party, now joined by Jin-hee, into the tunnel between their compartment and the conductor's car. Yeon-suk and the others bind the knob with neckties and shirts to keep them out after being forced out. Following her sister's unnecessary death, Jung-gil sees In-gil's face in the door window undead gathering. She tells her infected sister she lived a long and happy life and that the compartment gang killed her. Jung-gil opens the safe compartment door in anger and defeat, letting zombies in. The hallway survivors can only watch as the group is consumed inside the compartment, seeing shadows of passengers desperately clawing at the jammed door. The conductor hears on the radio that Busan is zombie-free. Debris blocks them before Busan Station. The conductor tells the survivors over the intercom that he will find another train on an unobstructed track to Busan and that they should follow him, but wishes them luck as they leave the train and traverse the zombie-filled tracks. After exiting his cockpit and discovering an empty hallway, he notices a cargo train. It starts and he travels to Busan to discover survivors on the railway. Seok-woo and others exit the train without knowing Yeon-suk hid in the bathroom from zombies. After hearing the conductor's statement, he fights to escape the compartment, but many zombies chase him. Seok-woo's party boards the freight train. Jin-hee and Young-guk are separated from the group after a blazing freight car hits a railway. They enter the next train carriage through the door, unconscious that Yeon-suk, who is being hunted by a zombie, is following them. Throwing Jin-hee behind the car sacrifices her to the undead. Young-guk destroys the undead and collapses with spasming Jin-hee. Despite them, Yeon-suk opens the door to run to the freight train. Jin-hee chokes and turns, and Young-guk tears, asking fate why. She turns and nibbles his face and throat as he apologizes for not telling Jin-hee how he felt about her. After racing toward the cargo train, Yeon-suk strains his ankle on the rails and is bitten by a zombie. Yeon-suk betrays him and throws him to the undead like Jin-hee after he runs off the car to help. Even though the conductor pleads for help, he boards the train alone. A zombie train on the opposite side of the debris traps the homeless guy, Suwon, Seok-woo, and Seong-kyung. Train windows can fall any time. Seok-woo sneaks beneath the train, but a section collapses and covers the hole before the others can pass. Shattered windows let a few zombies crawl toward the three. The homeless man sacrifices himself to the zombies at the last minute, allowing Seok-woo to clear the rubble and Seong-kyung and Suwon to escape. Running to the cargo train, they board its outdoor platform. After seeing milky-eyed, ill Yeon-suk in the conductor's seat, Seok-woo leaves the cockpit. Yeon-suk unlocks the door, despite being a zombie since his brain is uninfected. Yeon-suk begs Seok-woo to take him home to Busan, reciting his address and mother's name like a child. Yeon-suk is shocked and weeps when Seok-woo tells him he's sick, but he turns within seconds. Seok-woo battles zombified Yeon-suk and nearly falls off the automobile. Hearing them scream on the car platform, Yeon-suk attacks Seong-kyung and Suwon. After intervening, Seok-woo's hand is badly bitten. He sees his wounds after throwing Yeon-suk from the car. Knowing he will turn soon, he seats Suwon and Seong-kyung in the cockpit and tells them to brake at Busan Station. He gets out of the car, but Suwon begs him to stay and says she saved Aloha-o for her father because she didn't spot Seok-woo in the throng at her recital. After a tearful goodbye, Seok-woo briefly holds Suwon's small hands before throwing them away and locking himself out of the cockpit. Susan screams for his homecoming. Seok-woo cries as he exits the train with his bleeding hand as the sickness spreads. Seong-kyung tries to stop Suwon from crying in the cockpit. He cautiously leaves the train car, fighting the virus. Remembering Suwon as a baby, as he remembers hugging her and caring for her small fingers and toes in the cockpit, the disease turns his eyes white and veins dark. Seok-woo, now zombified, thinks of Suwon and smiles at the sky before sliding from the car and onto the tracks, either from body spasms or suicide to protect Suwon and Seong-kyung. Underground Busan Station train arrives. Debris clogs the track. They exit the car and proceed through the tunnel without realizing the Busan military is watching. One gunner reports their approach to his commander, who orders him to shoot them down because they cannot identify infection in the dark. Suwon mournfully sings Aloha Oe as the sniper prepares to shoot to encourage the exhausted Seong-kyung to walk to the tunnel's end. Her song convinces the soldiers they're uncontaminated and they rush to help. Thank you for joining me in this video. If you enjoyed this recap, remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more captivating stories on Recap Reels.